Welcome to yet another edition of the Stats and Stacks podcast, where today we're going over UFC Atlanta Usman versus Buckley. First things first, make sure you smash that like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, over on Instagram, over on TikTok, wherever there's social media. There's a Stats and Stacks podcast. That could be a good or a bad thing right now, as we're on a little bit of a losing streak. We got absolutely murdered at UFC 316. We are hoping that a pay-per-view offering would be what we needed to kick things back into gear. It ain't. We got absolutely shit on Patchy Mix like everyone else. Unfortunately, we went down with the ship. We took a lot of dog shots that didn't come through with Yanal and such. So it is what it is. Great thing about UFC and what makes it the best sport is that most times, more often than not, there's a new week to just start all over again. You don't have to sit there and wallow in your poor decision making like you do in the NBA or the NFL or MLB during the off season. There is no off season. The longest off season is like 4 weeks. So this one, dust ourselves off, pick ourselves up by the bootstraps, get right back at it at a live event. So that's nice. So yeah, there's 13, 14 fights. Some of them kept falling off, a lot of short notice replacements. But at the end of the day, we have a solid card starting at 7 Eastern. I like everything that's going on right now. So let's not waste any time with the amount of fights and let's just jump straight into it. Very first fight of the night, we have Jamie Lynn Horth at minus 520. Whew, going up against short notice. Vanessa Demopoulos at plus 390. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 375. Under 2.5 at plus 270. Let's start with Jamie Lynn. She's someone I like a lot. She's a little older. She's 35 years old, but she will have a 7-inch reach advantage in this matchup. And she's just a little bit of a generalist. She's not good anywhere. She's not bad anywhere. She's serviceable on every level of MMA. She's an okay striker. She's an okay jiu-jitsu practitioner. She has okay wrestling. She will mix things up here and there, contingent on who she's fighting. Her cardio is not good. It's not bad. It's all right. Everything is just simply okay across the board. One of the things that aren't okay is her volume. Her volume is not good whatsoever. She's a little lower pace there. Not a fan of that. 72% takedown defense is an okay number, but she's right on that fine line of where I get a little concerned about her takedown defense. Level of competition isn't the greatest. Ivana Petrovic, Miranda Maverick's a decent fighter, but she's a little one-dimensional. Veronica Hardy, that split decision. She fights close with a lot of girls. Two of her first, actually, yeah, two of her 4 UFC fights have gone to split decision. So she's someone that's going to fight for your money and I love her as a dog. As a minus 500 favorite, not so much. That does concern me because she doesn't excel anywhere. On the other side, we have Vanessa Demopoulos, who's a little bit of the same thing, but I'd say she's above average in regards to her jiu-jitsu game. She is a BJJ black belt, has been for a while now. Jamie's a little older, being 35. Vanessa's even older than her. She is 36. Again, taking this fight on short notice, but her cardio is usually okay. Her jujitsu is good. Her striking is much improved, but it's still not great. I will say Jamie's the better striker. But I do think Vanessa's a better jiu-jitsu practitioner. In regards to the wrestling, Vanessa's takedown defense is ass. It's like 25, 30%. It's not good at all. But a lot of that is by design because she is a BJJ girl and she likes to work off her back. So it's a little hit or miss there. Offensive wrestling, not great. She spent some time at Fight Ready trying to perfect her grappling. Just had to give up. She's not a great wrestler by any means. And I think that's the story of the fight. She has won a lot of fights just by screaming. She kind of does the Chukagian where she yells and grunts every single time she throws a strike, and it kind of persuades the judges. That worked wonders at the Apex. Live crowd here, honey. I'm a little concerned here. Do I want to trust Jamie Lynn at minus 500? No. Do I think Vanessa Demopoulos should win this fight? No. So this is more of a pick versus value ordeal. And they're kind of backing me against the wall at minus 500. I have no choice. So the pick is going to be Jamie. I do think she wins this fight. But women's MMA, low level, the very first fight of the night, the dog wins a million times. We just went over this with Ryani Dos Santos and or Ryani Amanda, and we were saying, fuck it, we'll go ahead and we'll ride one more time. And then she goes out there and loses to Alyssa Ardoline. This is the same thing. It is low level women's MMA in the very first fight of the night. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 18 times, yeah, that's a little too much. So the pick is going to be Jamie Lynn. The bet is going to be Vanessa somehow, some way. Next fight of the night, we're going to continue the dog theme. We have Phil Rowe at plus 115 going up against Angelusa at minus 140. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 280. Under 2.5 at plus 210. Let's start with uh, Phil Rowe. The Fresh Prince Phil Rowe is 34 years old. He's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. He has really good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You see him sweeping guys like Jake Matthews on the ground who are an actual black belt. His striking's okay. It's been much improved as of late, to be honest with you. His takedown defense is not though. His wrestling's trash. He's a good BJJ guy, bad wrestler. 56% takedown defense, and he doesn't shoot a ton of offensive takedowns. So when he does, it doesn't look good. He hits decently hard when he is on the feet. But my thing with him is that he just continually beats gas bags. He has a 10-5 record. You look at his UFC run. He lost to Jake Matthews, who can go 15 minutes. He lost to Neil Magny, who can go 15 minutes. He beat Nico Price, who can't go 15 minutes, and beat him in the third round. He beat Jason Witt, who can't go 15 minutes, and beat him in the second round. He beat Orion Cosey, who gassed out and can't go 15 minutes in the second round. Gabe Green can go 15 minutes, and he lost. Like, that's what continually happens here. If you can go the distance, he loses. If you can't go the distance, he wins. He slows himself. He's not a cardio machine by any means, but he's one of these guys that like he will fight until he's gassed, and he's gonna bring you gassed with him, and he's just used to fighting while tired. He's just a little hittable for my liking. Bad takedown defense and being hittable is not a good combination, and not something I want to bet on. But there are a lot of people in just MMA in general that just are winners, natural born winners, and they find a way to win or they find a way to put everything together, even though they're not the best fighter. And Lusa's the complete opposite. He has all the physical attributes to be a top 15 guy. I don't know if it's his mentality. I don't know if it's his nerves. He just goes out there and makes every fight really close, no matter who he's fighting. He fought Jack Della, the current champion in Contender Series, and it was a very, very close fight. He was only plus 100. I remember because I bet on him that night. And he looked really, really good in a loss and a losing effort. He looked good. Reese McKee, he went out there and he dominated for multiple rounds. And then ultimately in the third round, almost got finished. If there was another 15 seconds in that fight, he was a goner. AJ Fletcher, he went out there and dominated round one and then got clipped in round two and was doing the stanky leg all over the place. And ultimately had to grit another decision win. Gabriel Bonfim, I'm sorry I skipped over his last fight. He kind of got killed there. He didn't get dominated. Bonfim kills everybody and seems like a pretty durable guy, but he has a little bit of that Usman chin to where he's not getting knocked out. But we've seen him do the stanky leg in 2 of his last 3 fights. He gave up against Brian Battle at the infamous eye poke. Manir Lizez, that loss doesn't aging well, but he did take that on short notice. So, yeah, he's had a weird run here, and he keeps getting these tall, lanky guys. Gabriel's pretty lanky. Brian is very lanky and not actually a true welterweight. Reese is like the lankiest welterweight. And now he's getting Phil Rowe. And how does he look against these guys that are tall and lanky? He's 1-1-1. So we don't know what the true answer is, but I do know that he's the favorite in this circumstance. He's 31 years old. He is traditionally a striker. He grew up in the Netherlands or Switzerland or something like that. And he was a good striker. And then he found wrestling and was like, oh, this is much easier. I don't have to get punched in the face. And he's one of these guys that transitioned from striker to grappler. And his jiu-jitsu's okay, but I will say Rowe is the much better BJJ practitioner. His striking again, it's good. He still has it in his back pocket, and you see it display. He's pretty fast. He's pretty strong. Doesn't have a ton of knockouts, but he's a good striker. 83% takedown defense, so I don't think Phil's going to be able to use his BJJ if he takes him, let him get him down to the ground. He's just a very fast twitch athlete. He just can't put it all together. He's a good striker. He's a fairly good enough wrestler. His jujitsu checks out. He just can't really blend the arts too well. He's either there to grapple or he's there to strike. He just can't seem to do both. And he's a little hittable when he's on his feet too. So yeah, I don't know. He's been wrestling a lot more lately, but again, he's these tall, lanky guys, and he's going out there and he's utilizing his wrestling on guys with bad takedown defense, which is Philip Rowe, tall, lanky guy with bad takedown defense. I understand Angeluso being the favorite, but do I ever want to trust him at favorite money? No, not really. If he strikes, and he's not chinny per se, he's not getting knocked out all the time, but he's getting hurt all the time. So Phil could catch him on the feet. Phil could catch him on the ground. He's going to play with fire either way he goes with the way he fights. And if it was a pick 'em, I'd even go his way. But the fact that he's a minus 140 favorite, I can't do that. It's dog or pass in that situation. So the pick is going to be Phil Rowe. The bet is going to be Phil Rowe. That takes us to the next fight of the evening. It's the latest one that was added, so I got to pull up these odds for you. We have Ricky Simone fighting Cameron Smotherman now, which is an interesting matchup. Ricky Simone is a huge favorite, minus 500. Comeback on Cameron Smotherman is plus 375. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5, even money. Under 2.5, minus 130, which is interesting that the under is the way it is. That does surprise me. Let's start with Ricky Simone. And I'm so sorry. The last thing I'll mention is that Philip Rowe in that fight, he does train a little in Georgia, so he should have the crowd behind him, and that's the other way he can win is a decision. So if he's fighting someone that's super close, he's fighting someone in a close fight, and he has the crowd behind him that could sway as well. So he has a finishing upside and possibly the crowd. And I've heard that Atlanta judges are very sketchy. So again, pick and bet Phil Rowe. But in regards to Ricky Simone and these crazy odds, he's a grappler. He has good wrestling. He has good jiu-jitsu. He's fought a good level of competition. His striking never fully caught up with his grappling, but it's okay. It's not bad. And he packs a serious punch. He doesn't throw as much as I would like him to. He's a little low volume and he's a little hittable at that. But at the end of the day, he can be chin checked, but he can also just out grapple you. If he wants to just stand and bang, there's chances that he hits harder. In this matchup, I do think he's the harder hitter here. So he's going to be the one with the harder punches. That is going to try to mix in, or at least should try to mix in wrestling here and there. He got a KO in his last fight. That scares me. He's going to be one of these wrestlers that fall in love with their striking. 2 fights or 3 fights ago, 2 fights ago, he fought Lock Dog and looked terrible and didn't really shoot a lot of takedowns and just got eaten alive on the feet. I don't like that. And then his next fight, he also struck for a little and he knocked him out in 4 minutes. So I hope he does this striker. He's in a little bit of trouble because Cameron Smotherland, that's the one thing he can do. He's a main training partner of Adrian Yanez. Kid can box. He is taking this fight on short notice, but I've never seen his cardio be an issue. So he's one of these guys where I'm not concerned about him going 15 minutes on a short notice fight camp. He's 29 years old. Again, good striking and good cardio, and it's predominantly boxing. He doesn't throw a lot of kicks at all. What I will say is that he doesn't hit really that hard. He goes to decision quite a bit. And he's a little chinny. He's been knocked out in the past. He got knocked out on Contender Series. And I'm not just saying that. He's been rocked and dropped in multiple fights before and after that Contender Series fight. So him getting dropped to the floor is not new. He is a good striker. He throws decent volume. He's a good. His takedown defense is another thing that's a little bit of an issue. He has a very good get up game, but it's not difficult to get him down to the ground. Ricky has a good wrestling game, but he doesn't have the greatest top control. So Ricky, I don't think he's going to just take him down and sub him by any means, but he can kind of take him down as he. If Series CD can take Cameron Smotherman down at will, I'm certain Ricky Simone can. It's just looking fine on the feet, mixing in the takedown to score, and just continually doing it. Can he do it for 15 minutes? And I think he can. I think Ricky should win this fight. I don't like these odds at minus 500. I was looking at the over under. I don't hate the over. Um, but then I think about Cameron's chin and how hard Ricky hits. That's concerning. Uh, this is a total pass. Don't go anywhere near this fight. But gun to my head, I'll go ahead and I'll take the over 2.5. So the pick is going to be Ricky Simone. The bet's going to be the over 2.5, but I don't feel great about it, to be honest with you. Next fight of the night, we have Cody Durden at plus 150 going up against Jose Ochoa at minus 180. Over 2.5 minus 130, under 2.5 plus 100. This is another one that I know what I'm supposed to do, but I know what I want to do. Let's start with Cody Durden. Cody Durden is from Atlanta, Georgia. He is going to be one of the biggest crowd pops of the entire night. Cody Durden's a good wrestler. He's an okay striker. It's gotten much better. He's fought a good level of competition. His jiu-jitsu is very good. Um, uh, he's a little hittable. He does slow down quite a bit in all of his fights. His wins, although his level of competition is good, his wins are not when you really think about it. Matt Schnell is an okay win. Outside of Matt Schnell, Jake Hadley's been cut. Charles Johnson's a good win. I'll give him Charles Johnson. That's a good one. Carlos Mota's been cut. JB Guys has been cut. Arichi Lang has been cut. Chris Gutierrez on short notice, he went to a draw. So his only good wins are Charles Johnson, and it was pretty close. And his other good win was Matt Schnell, and that was a very close fight up until it wasn't. He slapped on that ninja chop, so nothing against him there. So he has two good wins. But again, Joshua Van is very good. That's an okay loss. He was beating Bruno Silva. He got caught. Bruno Silva is a good fighter. Tagir is a good fighter. Muhammad Makayev is a good fighter. Jimmy Flick getting caught in that submission, not so much. But it is what it is. There's not really much you can do about it. At the end of the day, he's an okay fighter. He's not a great guy, but we're here to talk about the fighter, not the. Then on the other side, we have Jose Ochoa, which is a very, very interesting prospect in his own right. Um, Jose Ochoa is young and he's good. I think the world of Jose Ochoa. He's only 24 years old. And he's one of these guys you look at and you just see the future potential. Is he signed to the UFC too early? Yeah, I think he is. I think he could use a little more seasoning. However, it's not like 125 is the strongest weight class in the world. He can win plenty of fights in the UFC. He had a shiny undefeated record. I think he could have used a few more before hopping in, but at the end of the day, Cody Durden's 34, Ochoa's 24. He has good striking, a ton of power. He has a ton of knockouts on his record. He trains at shoot to box and has pretty good jujitsu in his back pocket. His wrestling's not the greatest. His takedown defense is okay, but Cody is the much, much better wrestler. The issue is he's kind of a motherfucker to keep down on the ground. And that's where I see Cody getting a lot of takedowns early, but really struggling to keep him down. And when they're on the feet, I'm scared for Cody. Jose's probably going to put his lights out. Durden he has been chin checked on more than one occasion. Ochoa is Peruvian, has really good cardio. It just comes with the territory. He throws a lot of body work and teeps to the body. He's a finisher. He has 7 career wins, and I think they are all by finish. I don't think he has any decisions on his record. Result unknown. Yeah, he has no decisions. He goes out there and he either knocks you out or subs you, and 6 of the 7 are knockouts. So I do think Cody's extremely live. I think he can come out. I think he could just take him down over and over and over again, and try to just stall out minutes. I hope he gets an extra boost of energy being in his hometown. It could go the other way where he's extra pumped up. He comes out here and he tries to throw down with Jose Ochoa in front of his crowd and audience. And I think that's a terrible idea. He will lose if he's forced to strike with Jose Ochoa. Can Cody do it for 15 minutes? Can he take down Jose? Absolutely. Can he take down Jose and control him for 15? That's the question. So the pick is going to be Jose Ochoa. Even if he somehow loses this fight, I still think the world of him. And I think that he is a future top 10, top 5 guy in the weight class. But I'm going to go ahead and bet Cody Durden for the vet lesson in his hometown. I think this is a good if he's going to get it done, this is the right time. Catch the kid early, catch the kid in your hometown, catch the kid before you leave your prime, seeing that you're already 34. This is the time to do it. So the pick is going to be Jose Ochoa. He should win. but the value is on Cody Durden because Jose is still a little unproven. Next fight of the night, they have another hometown guy. We're going back to back, and this one is not as close here. We have Malcolm Wellmaker, and when I say not as close, I mean he's a minus 1450 favorite going up against Chris Montino at plus 850. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 plus 130. Under 1.5 at minus 165. We don't have to spend a lot of time on here. Malcolm Wellmaker is the guy, if he looks familiar, he just fought Cameron Simon not too long ago and like sent him to the hospital. He is 9-0. Yeah, he's 31 years old. He has really good striking. He has a ton of power. He is from Atlanta, Georgia. He's going to have an inch and a half reach advantage in this matchup. He has good cardio. His takedown defense is okay. You can get him down to the ground, but he's another one that's very, very difficult to keep down. He has a pretty decent get up game, and he'll get right back up to his feet, and then you're forced to play with danger on the feet. This dude is an athlete. This dude hits hard. He can put out anyone in the weight class. On the other side, we have Chris Montino. God bless him for taking the fight. Apparently, like 4 or 5 people turned down the fight against Malcolm Wellmaker, and Chris Montino put his hand up. Only problem is UFC. Poor Chris. Chris got a short notice call up to fight Sugar Sean O'Malley. That's a tough ask. They then gave him Guido Canetti, and Guido went out there and starched him in the first round. And Guido's not that good. He just got caught, and the UFC was like, "All right, kid, we gave you Guido. He's 40 and kind of a bum. You lost, you're out." So they cut him. He goes on, he wins like 4 fights in a row, all by finish. And then they have him ready for the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter show. They Connor wants someone from I forgot what happened, but Connor wanted someone, and they had to cut someone, and they're like, "Sorry, Chris, you already had your chance. You're out. We're cutting you." He went out there, won another fight by finish. And now they have this absolute killer in Malcolm Wellmaker. They're like, "Chris, we need somebody. Do you want to do it?" So this poor bastard, he he had to fight Sugar Sean O'Malley on short notice. Now he's to fight Malcolm Wellmaker on short notice at his hometown. He gets cut from the Ultimate Fighter show. It's just unfortunate luck for Chris. He's 32 years old. His striking's okay. His jiu-jitsu's okay. His wrestling's okay. He's another one of these generalists. He has good cardio, I'll give him that, but he's extremely hittable when he is on the feet. And you can chin check him. He's been knocked out multiple times. He has a win over Damon Blackshear. That looks good. Is he going to beat Wellmaker? No, probably not. He's probably going to go out there and die. But what I will say is I cannot bet minus 1450. That's the dumbest thing ever. Do I want to just take the shot on Chris Montino just because of the odds at, at plus 850? No, I don't really want to do that either. It's kind of just lighting money on fire. The under 1.5 looks attractive though at minus 165. I know Chris is known for having a cast iron chin. He took all those shots from the Sugar Show, but he has been finished, and he has been finished early. And I think it happens again. So the pick is going to be Malcolm. The bet is going to be the under 1.5 at minus 165. And I would bet it soon before that gets steamed even higher. Next fight of the night, we have Michael Chiesa minus 360 going up against Court McGee at plus 285. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 180. Under 2.5 at plus 140. Let's start with Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa is 37 years old, so he has no spring chicken. He has okay wrestling. He has world class jiu-jitsu. He's really, really good on the ground. His striking's trash. It's never been good. It will never be good. It's very low volume. He's very hittable when he's on his feet. And he has a shockingly low 61% takedown defense, which is interesting because I always think of him as such a good wrestler. His wrestling's just okay. It's just jujitsu that's really, really good. When he is on the feet, it looks terrible optically. He kind of shells up and acts like he's scared when he's getting hit. Um, and he does not believe in defending the Darce choke. You'll hear every single person talk about it. Half his losses on his record are by Darce choke, and he just can't figure it out. He makes joke about it himself when he's getting interviewed. He's like, he'll ask him for keys to victory, and he'll tell you to defend the Darce choke, and then he goes out there and gets Darce. It's unbelievable. So if you have a good Darce choke, you have an opportunity, essentially, is what's going on with Michael Chiesa. But he's on the commentary team. He's 37 years old. He's no spring chicken. And I just don't really know why he's still fighting. He probably needs to give it up. He's been on a little bit of an old man tour. He went out there and submitted Tony Ferguson. He went out there and submitted Max Griffin. Both of those guys are over the age of 40. So I guess if you're over 40, he'll take you out. People like Kevin Holland, Sean Brady, Vicente Luque, they're all good fighters, but they're all young fighters. He needs to stay away. People like Neil Magny and RDA, and Diego Sanchez and Carlos Condit. If you're in your 40s, he's going to take you out. If you're in your 20s, you're in trouble. He's fighting Court McGee, who just turned 40. Court McGee is older than Michael Chiesa. He is okay striking. He's okay jiu-jitsu. He is okay wrestling, 69% takedown defense. He's yet another. This is the card of generalists where everyone can do everything but don't excel at anything. He's getting a little chinny with age. He's known as being iron, just iron chins, and no one can put him out. He's been in 40 career fights and never knocked out. Well, Jeremiah Wells cracked him and put that to bed. And then his very next fight, he got cracked by Matt Brown and put that to bed. His fight after that, he got dropped by Alex Morono that put that to bed. Yeah, he's getting dropped every single fight now. And that's because he's 40. I mean, age is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. There's nothing you can do. So 69% takedown defense with a bad chin isn't exactly a good combo. His level competition's okay. His volume is much better than Chiesa's. But his last few wins, Tim Means, Ramiz Brahimaj, Claudio Silva, Alex Garcia, Dominique Steele. God, tell me when we get a good name. We're all the way back in 2015 now, 10 years ago. The best win in the last 10 years is Ramiz Brahimaj. That's bad. That's really, really, really bad. So Court just ain't it anymore. Chiesa should absolutely run through him. Do I trust Chiesa? No. Do I think Chiesa is better than Tim Means and um, Alex Garcia? Yeah. So he should have enough left in the take at the young age of 37. So the pick is going to be Michael Chiesa. The bet is going to be Chiesa. I don't like him at minus 360, but I don't think we have any other choice. Next fight of the night, we're going to continue with the no choice and the old men. We are looking at Rodolfo Bellato at minus 375, put up against Paul Craig at plus 295. Over under set at 2.5, or sorry, 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 130, under 1.5 plus 100. Let's start with Rodolfo Bellato. I think he is one of the worst fighters in the 205-pound weight class. He's sporting a 12-1 record. Both those losses coming to Vitor Petrino, but he should have a lot more losses on his record, to be honest with you. He trains with the Nogueira brothers, so have an inch and a half reach advantage here. He throws a ton of volume, but his striking's not that good. It's just all right. His jiu-jitsu's good, but his wrestling isn't that good. It's just all right. He's very chinny and he's very hittable. He might be the most hittable fighter I've ever seen in my life. I watched Patchy Mix fight last week. Bellato times 10 what you watched last week. Bellato blocks punches with his face, literally. Hands down, walks forward, and literally sticks his head out, saying to hit him. There's an issue with him, and I don't know why he does that, because he's not durable. He's getting dropped all the time. He got dropped by Igor Victoria. He got dropped by Jimmy Crute. He's getting 10-8'd all the fucking time. Vitor Petrino knocked him out twice. Both of his career losses are by KO. And he has wins on the regional scene and in the UFC where he got dropped and just came back and won because he does have good cardio. I'll give him that. He does slow down, but it's not his cardio. It's him. He's physically slow. I shouldn't say slow down. He is just physically slow. He's not an athlete. He has zero striking defense whatsoever. He has no chin. He just has heart, BJJ, and cardio. A will to win. He has a will to win, cardio, and BJJ. That's all he has. He is not good. On the other side, we have Paul Craig, who has BJJ. That is it. Not a ton of heart, No cardio. Paul Craig is 37 years old, so he is not young. He has no wrestling. He has no striking. He himself is very, very hittable on the feet. His takedown defense is at a staggering 37% takedown defense. He's bad. He's just an overall bad fighter. He can't strike. He can't wrestle. All he has is jujitsu. And you know what that's gotten him? I want to say nowhere, but it's gotten him submission and finishes. It's gotten him finishes over Andre Muniz, over Jamal Hill, over Magomed Ankalaev. Like, I don't know how he does it. Over Nikita Krylov. I just don't understand. I don't get it. He's one of the worst dual five pounders in UFC history, yet has beat two champions and two top five guys at one point. Like, it makes zero sense whatsoever. He is an absolute mystery. He is notorious for getting dropped, people dropping down on top of him, and him subbing. That's what he does. He has zero chin whatsoever. You drop him, you follow him to the ground, he wakes the fuck up, and then he submits you over and over and over again. We saw people like Bo Nickel. When he drops, they watch him and they let him up. We saw people like Kaya drop him, let him up. We saw people like Brendan Allen wait until he was gassed, mess with his cardio, and then finish him. Like, that's how you beat him. You get him tired, then finish. Or you drop him and just let him stand back up. Dude can't strike at all. It's really hittable. Bellato is dumb. He's dumb enough to follow Paul Craig down there. Can I see Paul Craig submitting him? That'll be tough. Again, he is Bellato's a BJJ black belt. They're the Nogueira brothers. But I've seen Bellato mounted multiple times. I could see Paul Craig by KO. And we just saw Paul Craig by KO against Andre Muniz. Andre's a really, really good grappler. He was unable to get the submission, so he just resorted to ground and pound. That's a KO. Paul Craig plus KO plus 1,300. Okay. We might be cooking with something here because I ain't touching Villado at minus 375. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. Do I want to touch Paul Craig? No, not really. Plus 300 has my attention. Plus 1,300 for the knockout definitely has my attention. It's a sheer dogger pass. The pick is going to be Paul Craig. The bet's going to be Paul Craig. And I might just chase a prop and call it a day with that knockout at plus 1,300. FYI, the submission is plus 650. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do Paul Craig inside distance. I don't fucking know at this point. That's got to be real close to just his money line at plus 300. So pick is Paul. The bet is we'll just say Paul for now, but keep an eye on that knockout prop. Next fight of the night. Speaking of knockouts, Alonzo Menafield plus 440 going up against Omar C at minus 600. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 135. Under 1.5 plus 105. Let's start with Atomic Alonzo Menafield. Atomic Alonzo Menafield is ass. He's 37 years old. He has good striking and a ton of power. He has okay BJJ. We've seen him submit the likes of Jimmy Crute, that Askar, the fraud guy. But really, realistically, he's not really going to wrestle you to get you down to the ground. He'll snatch up a neck if you wrestle him. Otherwise, he doesn't really want to wrestle. He wants to stand and bang. He's very low volume. He's very hittable, and he's kind of chinny. He doesn't really take a punch too well. He's a little bit of a glass cannon. If he hits anyone, they can go out. I mean, just look at the guy. But if you hit him, we saw Carlos Ulberg knock him out. We saw, let's see, Osmat Murder Khanov knock him out. He's been knocked out on multiple occasions. He's been dropped on multiple occasions. So yeah, just be cognizant of that. He can knock out anyone at any point. He's a scary dude to bet against, but he's not good. He just really, realistically, just has a puncher's chance in all honesty in every single one of his fights. On the other side, we have an actual prospect in Omar C. Omar is, I'm pretty sure he's little brother to Sabadu C, so he's been around the game for a while. He's 11-0 undefeated, so be weary of that. Again, the undefeated fighters, we saw another one go down last week with Mark the Shark. He's 11-0. He's 29. He has good striking. He has good wrestling. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has good volume. He's quick as shit. He's pretty strong. Dude's an athlete. Dude is just an overall athlete. You kind of wonder, well, why is he not playing another sport? Because he's such an athletic freak. He was also in a different country. He grew up in France, so growing MMA scene, his cardio, he'll slow down a little bit, but he can go 15 minutes. He's honestly the complete package. This guy is the real deal. This guy is top five, especially at 205 written all over him, because none of these 205 pounders can wrestle. Can Alonzo Menifield wrestle? Offensively, no. Defensively, he's rocking a 78% takedown defense, so it's damn near 80%. He's not easy to get down. But C is so much faster. And as long as he gets a takedown, that makes it easy. But as long as he doesn't get touched, being the quick athlete here, I think it's more than feasible for him to go out there and win. It's just I'm probably going to lean the over, just solely on the fact that minus 600 is not fun. However, if he wrestles, I don't think he's just going to go out there and sub Menifield right away like he does other guys. And if he strikes, I think he's going to be overly cautious and wait till Menifield's arms get pumped up with all the blood, and not throw as hard, draining the clock. Either way, whether he's hanging out in Alonzo's guard or hanging out being safe on the feet, I kind of like the over here. So the pick is going to be C. Can't bet him at minus 600, so I'll take the over 1.5 at minus 135. Next fight of the night, stay clear of any overs here. We have Cody Brundage at plus 550 going up against Mansoor Abdul Malik at minus 800. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 plus 145. Under 1.5 minus 190. Why is that? Is it because of Cody? Is it because of Mansoor? It's because of both. Let's start with Mansoor. He's another undefeated fighter here. Mansoor is 27 years old. He's 8-0. He's going to have a 7-inch reach advantage in this matchup. He has good wrestling. He does have like a D1 wrestling background. His striking's okay. He doesn't have the best striking, but he hits some of the hardest in the middleweight division. Like the dude hits. He hits. Will knock out anyone in the weight class. Just a ton of power. He's an absolute finisher. Has finished every single one of his wins. His jujitsu's okay. Training at ATT, training at MMA Masters. He's an okay grappler. I mean, he can slow down in his fights, but none of them are going 15 minutes. So him slowing down his cardio hasn't really been a factor. Level of competition's not great, but he does throw a lot of volume. He kind of sits back, reloads, and then blitzes at you like Robert Whitaker style. But he sits back and reloads Yoel Romero style. So if you kind of put both those styles together, that's how Mansoor fights. He'll reload, he'll hit you with a blitz, like a 4 or 5 6 strike combination, all power, then stop, stare at you for a little, reload, and then hit you with a 4 or 5 6 strike combination, all power. And he does that over and over until you can't take anymore. And everyone has fallen. 82% takedown defense is notable. We did see other collegiate wrestlers such as Wes Schultz or Nick Klein get takedowns, but they weren't able to hold him down. He has a really urgent get up game, and then you're back on the feet playing with fire. Cody is a collegiate wrestler, so I tried to find a path for him. But Dan Levy with Half the Battle said it best on Clint Show at the Iron MMA podcast. I just got done listening to it. They were talking about how Cody doesn't believe in himself. Cody is a good fighter. He just doesn't believe he's a good fighter. And I think that was very, very well said. He has good wrestling. He's 31 years old in his prime. His wife was an MMA fighter, so they live and breathe MMA. He has okay jiu-jitsu, training at Factory X Muay Thai. The striking, he doesn't, it's not the greatest striking, but he's deceptively powerful. The dude hits really, really hard. We saw him dropping the black belt Hunter. We saw him knocking out Julian Marquez in his last fight. Excuse me. We saw him knock out Zach Reese. We saw him drop a lot of guys, and you saw him knock out Trayshawn Gore. So yeah, knockouts are nothing new to him, even though he's predominantly a wrestler grappler. What's also not new to him is getting chin checked. He's been knocked out multiple times, and he's been dropped even more than that. And he quits, man. He just quits on himself all the fucking time. It's been to his benefit in some of these fights. The Abdul Razak Hassan fight, he fought an absolute jack killer, got hit in the back of the head, and they called the fight a no contest. We had Jacob Malkoun. He got hit in the back of the head. He quit, and they gave him a DQ win. Yeah, we've seen it on more than one occasion. Zach Reese, had him locked up in the triangle. He had to slam his way out of it. So when you really look at his wins, Julian Marquez was mouthpiece gate, where they both dropped their mouthpieces. The ref stopped the fight as Cody was almost knocked out to give them their mouthpieces back. They checked to make sure they gave the right person the right mouthpiece, and then Cody just cold cocked him. As soon as they said fight again, he just threw a punch. He had time to recover and then threw a punch. So we had mouthpiece gate in his last fight. We have the disqualification, or sorry, the no contest against Alisson. We had him getting killed by Bo Nickel. We had the triangle slam knockout lucky against Zach Reese. We had the Jacob Malkoun disqualification. We had a loss to Cedric Dumas. Oh my God. The black belt hunter submitted him. Michael Olian knocked him out. Yeah, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. His actual credible wins where there was no tomfoolery going on were Trayshawn Gore and Dulian Buga or Lulian. He's cut. Doesn't matter how you say it anymore. Indulcha. Indulcha was whooping his ass. Trayshawn Gore was whooping his ass. Yeah, Cody Brundage. He has all the tools, but yeah, you can never bet on him. So the pick is going to be Mansoor, but do I want to bet him at minus 800? No. I'll take the under 1.5. Cody doesn't like when powerful guys charge at him. Cody doesn't like when he can't out wrestle guys. And I don't think he can do either to Mansoor. So it's Mansoor by murder. So I'll take that under 1.5 at minus 190. Next fight of the night, we have another Cody. We have three Codys on this card: Cody Durden, Cody Brundage, and now the former champ Cody Garbrandt plus 150, going up against Hani Barcelos at minus 180. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 135. Under 2.5 plus 105. Let's start with Hani Barcelos. Hani Barcelos is old as dirt. He's 38 years old. He has it all. I talked about people being a generalist. No, this guy's above average and everything. He has good striking. He has good jujitsu. He's a black belt. He has good wrestling. He was on the Brazilian national team. He can go 15 minutes. He has an inch and a half reach advantage in this matchup. He's fought a good level of competition. He throws good volume. He does everything. The one thing he doesn't do well is hit hard. He's not really a power puncher, and he's now getting chinny with age. You can crack this guy and put his lights out now that he's 38 years old. And when he does have these grapple heavy styles, it does slow him down a little bit. He does get a little winded. He'll go the 15, but he is huffing and puffing through that last half a round in round three. He's just trying to get through it. So all in all, he should have been a top five guy, possibly fighting for world titles. He just took a lot of weird fights, just a lot of like below him fights. And then by the time he was fighting the top 10 of the division, he was in his late 30s. And fighting Umar Nurmagomedov when you're 35 is just not a good idea. It's just not. Fighting Kyler Phillips when you're 37 years old is not a good idea. Fighting Peyton Talbot when you're 38 years old is not a good idea, but he got away with it. And he won me a ton of money. I bet his money line and him by decision. And I won a shit ton on Hani Barcelo, so he has a special place in my heart. Who doesn't have a special place in my heart? His opponent, Cody Garbrandt. My favorite fighters of all time are Anthony Pettis and Dom Cruz and Brandon Royval. But he took Dom Cruz's title from him. So I have a bone to pick with Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt is 33 years old. He has good striking. He has sneaky good wrestling. He is a D1 wrestler, and everyone seems to forget that because he prefers to counter grapple. His jiu-jitsu is all right, but you never really see him use it, more on a defensive basis. But you also don't see it a lot because he has 80% takedown defense. He is a little hittable on the feet, and that's just because he is lower volume. Again, he hits decently hard. He can put the lights out, and he's fast as shit. He might still have some of the fastest hands I've ever seen in the bantamweight history. I don't think anyone hits harder and faster than Cody Garbrandt, even to this day. But he prefers to counter. He's a counter striker. He's very low volume. If he threw more, he would win a lot more fights. I don't know if he's just going to get tired. I've seen him gas out before. I don't know why he's so low volume, but he has been for years. He's never changed. My thing is, Hani's getting a little older and slower, and I am petrified he's going to get chin checked. Cody hasn't KO'd anyone since what, the Brian Kelleher fight 2 years ago. I guess that was 2 fights ago. Interesting. But he fought an older, chinnier fighter that was slowing down, and he knocked him out in round one. And I could see the same thing happening. Rafael Sansa was an older fighter who was slowing down and got a little chinny, knocked him out in round two. Yeah, he just keeps knocking out. His last few wins have been knocking out old guys. Okay. And now he's a 38-year-old in front of him. God damn. Hani should win this fight. Hani's the better wrestler. He's the better jiu-jitsu practitioner. He is probably a wash in the striking. Cody's just a little faster. And that might all he needs. I can't get the picture of Cody knocking out Hani out of my mind. So I'm going to trust my gut. I'm going to pick Hani Barcelos. I'm going to trust my gut and say Cody Garbrandt gets the job done. And I think he's in a KO. I don't know what that KO prop is, but I'm interested in it. The bet is Cody. God damn. Next fight of the night, we have the kid, the golden boy, Edmund Shabazian at minus 185, going up against Andre Petrowski at plus 155. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 is minus 145. Sorry, over 1.5 minus 145. Under 1.5 at plus 115. Let's start with the golden boy. The golden boy is somehow still only 27 years old. I have no idea how he's just entering his prime. This guy has been in the UFC for like 10 years. I don't get it. He entered the UFC against Darren Stewart in 2018. We're into 2025. Wow. It has been 7 years. So he was 20 years old when he made his UFC debut. That's why it feels this way. He's been here for a minute. He has a 2-inch reach advantage. He has really good striking. He has really good power. His jiu-jitsu, don't sneak on it. Don't sleep on his BJJ. It was not bad. 65% takedown defense isn't good, but it's actually much better than it looks on paper. The problem with Edmund Shabazian is his cardio. It's always been his cardio. He slows down. He knocks you out in round one. If you survive round one, he gets real tired in round two, and he has nothing to offer you in round three. He has no cardio. He has round one or bust. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. He's a little hittable. And 65% takedown defense is because of his round two and round three. And round one, it's probably at like 80, 90%. But if you can survive the onslaught, you can take him down and you can take advantage. That's what it comes down to. He's had a good level of competition to start, and the UFC's been reeling it back a little. They still believe in Edmund. They're giving him Dylan Butka. They're giving him AJ Dobson. Even Gerald Mearshart's a winnable fight. Him fighting Fluffy Hernandez? No. But when he goes on losing streaks, the UFC tries to get him going. He lost to Derek Brunson. He lost to Jack Hermanson. They didn't know how good Imavov was. These are all good losses. And this fight in particular reminds me a lot of the Brunson fight. And I went back and I watched it, and he was winning that fight up until round three. That was a main event. This one's only a 3-rounder. I think that one was a short notice main event, so it was a 3-rounder as well. But at the end of the day, he's getting much, much better in these later rounds. On the other side, we have Andre Petrowski, and this is why it's interesting. Andre is a really good wrestler and a really good jiu-jitsu practitioner. He can take Edmund's neck home at any point he wants. He's 33 years old, but his striking's god awful. His striking defense is god awful. He's extremely hittable. And the biggest issue I have is that he's a gasser. We have gasser versus gasser, a striker gasser against a wrestler gasser. His level of competition is okay, but it's not what Edmund has fought. He is chinny as fuck, too. That's the thing. He got knocked out by Jacob Malkoon's hip. You're going to hear that over and over again as well from every podcaster. And it's truth. He got literally knocked out by someone's hip. So imagine power puncher Edmund coming at him. The thing is, you beat Edmund Shabazian by surviving and then taking him down and abusing him. Andre can take him down. Andre can abuse him. I don't think Andre can survive. And even, I take that back. Even if he does survive, I don't think he can abuse Edmund Shabazian. Let me take that back. I think he can take him down. But he's going to be cardio gassing too. They're both going to be terrible with cardio. So at the end of the day, I'll just trust Edmund to get it done in round one and make him look minus 800. So the pick is going to be Edmund Shabazian. The bet is going to be Edmund Shabazian. Next fight of the night, we have our co-main event of the evening. We have Doug Rose Namajunas at minus 260 going up against Miranda Maverick at plus 210. Over 2.5 minus 520. Good God. Under 2.5 plus 350. Let's start with Doug Rose. Doug Rose is a former strawweight champion of the world. She's moved up to 125 and hasn't looked out of place. She's had her growing pains, but she's lost to Erin Blanchfield and Manon Farrow. Those are those are two of the top three at 125. She has wins over Amanda Hebos and Tracy Cortez, who are in the top 10 at 125. So she's losing to the top three. She's beating the top 10. And in that Blanchfield fight, that was a 5-round fight. Doug Rose won rounds 1 and 2. That's a 3-round fight. She wins. This one is a 3-round fight. And Erin Blanchfield is eerily similar to Miranda Maverick. Rose has good striking. She has good jiu-jitsu. Her wrestling, she will sprinkle in. It's okay. Defensively, 61% takedown defense. I wish it was better. But she has good cardio, a great level of competition. Her volume checks out. She's just a little mental. She's just like Cody Brundage, where she gets in her own head. I've seen her go out there and look like the best. Literally, she will tell you, I'm the best. And then I've seen her go out there and look like she did not want to be there. Get me the fuck out of the octagon. So you never really know what version of Rose you're getting. So she is dangerous territory betting. However, although she has a tendency to let the fight slip away, I don't think she's going to do that against Miranda Maverick. First and foremost, she's in front of a crowd. Rose seems to perform better in front of crowds for whatever reason. It gets her more hype. Secondly, I talked about Miranda Maverick being close to the Erin Blanchfield fight. Rose won round 1 and 2. Miranda Maverick is worse than Erin Blanchfield. She's a worse wrestler. She's just as good of a grappler, but she's a much worse striker. She has worse cardio. So if Rose can win 1 and 2 against Blanchfield, why can she not do it against Maverick? Maverick is a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. I'll give the devil her due. She's 27, so she's in her prime, but her striking's trash. Her wrestling's overrated. Yeah, she's going to go out there and take down Priscilla Cachoeira. She's going to take down Andrea Lee. Diane Barbosa is an interesting one to take down multiple times, but she was also on very short notice. But people like Jazz dominated her. She took down Shayna Young, Sabina Mazo, but she couldn't take down Macy Barber at will. She couldn't take down Erin Blanchfield at will. So if she can out grapple you, she wins. If she can't out grapple you, she loses. And if you have good takedown defense, she's going to struggle. Does Rose have the best takedown defense? No, she doesn't. She doesn't. Does she have good enough takedown defense? I think she does. I think there's going to be a lot of clinch control. That does scare me with Rose. Is she going to give up mentally? But the crowd will be behind Rose. I don't like that these two have trained together. Maybe there's something Miranda knows. But that also goes for Rose. Rose also knows how she's going to want to take her down if she's done it in the past. So the pick is going to be Rose Namajunas. The bet's going to be Rose Namajunas. We just saw Miranda Maverick go tooth and nail with Jamie Lynn Horth. I told you Jamie Lynn's not that good to start this fight card. I cannot bet someone that struggled with Jamie Lynn Horth against a former champion. I'd be eating my own words. So the pick is going to be Rose. The bet's going to be Doug Rose. Doug Rose. And that takes us to the main event. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever there's social media. There's the Stats and Stacks podcast. We have the return of the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman, going up against Joaquin Buckley at New Manta at minus 260. Kamaru comeback is at plus 210. It's insane. Over 4.5 minus 105. Under 4.5 minus 125. Let's start with the Nightmare because people forgot about him. He's 38 years old, and we haven't seen him since 2023. The last time we saw him, he was fighting on short notice up a weight class at 185 against Hamzat. Gave a good account of himself, but still lost. He is a former champion. He has good wrestling. He has good striking. His jiu-jitsu is whatever. His volume is good. His cardio is great. He's rocking an 89% takedown defense. His level of competition is awesome. All of that is good. If this fight were 5 years ago, you would be line minus 900. The problem is he's a little chinny. especially with age. Before, again, he's the one we always said Usman should. He gets dropped all the time, but he never goes out. Well, he's 38 now, and we're seeing people like Leon Edwards knock him out now. He's going fully out. And his, we haven't seen him. He's 38 years old. He's almost 40, and we have not seen him. He's coming off a 2-year layoff. That's none of that is good. Although he has the talent, although he has the pedigree, although he's the better fighter, 38-year-old Usman, is it enough for Joaquin Buckley? I don't know because I don't rate Buckley too high. He's in his prime at 31 years old, and he's just like Kevin Holland. He's much better at 170. He has good striking. He has a ton of power. He can knock out anyone at 170. He has okay offensive wrestling, but he ain't taking down Usman. Defensively, 73% takedown defense. And he can slow down in his fights. He's had better cardio at 170. We saw him get a third round knockout against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We saw him get a third round stoppage against Colby Covington. That's back to back round three, so that's good on him. He got a round two finish against Vicente Luque. His cardio has gotten much better. But even in the Rosa Boa fight, he did start to slow down at the very end of the third round. We saw him in the Abdul Razak Al Hassan fight, totally gassed out because he had to wrestle a lot. And that's the thing. He's striking against Andre Filo. He's striking against Alex Morono. He's damn near he's striking against Stephen Thompson. If he goes out there and he strikes, he can go 15. If you force this guy to wrestle, he does get tired. Now the Colby Covington fight, he started to get a little tired, but he had enough in the tank. And he had all 3 rounds banked, so all he had to do was survive another two. Would he have? I don't know. We don't know. The fight was stopped. Um, I just don't really rate his jiu-jitsu, but I don't think it's a worry about that here against Usman. I don't rate his wrestling. That he does have to worry about. He's cocky as shit. I can't really stand him as a person. And this is his first ever 5 rounder, so we don't know how that cardio is going to check out. We don't know how he's going to handle his gas tank. There's a lot of what ifs. But he's an explosive athlete and he hits extremely hard. And he's going against a 38-year-old man with a bad chin. So you have the talent going against just the physical attributes. And which one do you want to prefer? I'll prefer the talent to an extent. You have to give me a good number for me to trust the old man. And they are plus 210. I have no choice. My hands are tied. I think Buckley probably starches him. I think the under is probably the way to go. But plus 210, they're just asking for dumbasses to take that number. Sign me up. I'm in. The pick is going to be Buckley, but I will have a bet on Kamaru Usman. And that is UFC Atlanta. A lot of crazy lines, a lot of dog hunting this week. Parlays, RIP, it's going to be tough. But as long as we come out positive, as long as we win money, we're happy. Let's get after it.